Hey Nets Daily fans, Dexter Henry from Nets Daily, joined here at Media Day with Bryan Fonseca and Anthony Puccio, our great writers for NetsDaily.com, and it was a great media day. Obviously, all the players were here in uniform, taking pictures, talking to the media. We saw a lot of stuff, and we got to talk to the players and hear their thoughts on the upcoming season. And one of the things I heard, guys, today was team togetherness and the team really feeling like they're coming together. A lot of the guys like each other. They talked about that and bonding and chemistry. And this team really feels they can do more than they did last season. You hearing the same thing, guys?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, first of all, you can see that we have two different approaches to this. Pooch is in a suit. I am not. But, you know, that's for starters. And secondly, you know, culture has obviously been a buzzword here. We've joked that culture could be a drinking game on Nets Daily. And, you know, that's been talked about today, too. People are very, you know, positive about, like, what's about to happen, very optimistic about what's about to take place as the season begins. And, you know, you think that they're in a better place starting off because they have more talent. You know, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that I took away from this press conference the most and more than anything from the offseason is all these guys have a chip on their shoulder. It seems like everybody's coming in here with swagger. And by chip on their shoulder, I mean talking guys from the players to the coaching staff and to even up to Sean Marks. You know, everybody here is growing together. Everybody has something to prove. So, you know, it goes down from the top all the way down to the players, and you know, they want to see how it's going to translate. I think improvement is the expectation, but don't set expectations too high just yet.
Yeah, you saw a lot of the players were definitely cautious about that and talking about the expectations being set too high. And look, training camp is a time for hope, and there's a lot of hope here now as we start the preseason, get into those games, and get into the season. I'm just going to ask you guys bluntly. You said, Pooch, you said don't set expectations too high. What do you think this team can do for the 2017-2018 season?
I think they're going to surprise people. I think that, you know, a lot of pundits are saying 29 wins. And, you know, we're talking about a team that finished 11-13 after Jeremy Lin was healthy after the All-Star break. So you add in some pieces, a lot more talent. Kenny Atkinson mentioned to me that he's going to alter some things to play to the personnel. So, yeah, I think playoffs is definitely far-fetched. Not too far-fetched, but it's far-fetched. But if they could maybe see a 33, 34-win season, that's something that Nets fans should be very ecstatic about.
In the East, that might have you close to the playoffs, so who knows the way the Eastern Conference expects to be. What do you think, Bryan, as far as expectations for the team this season?
Well, one player I spoke to in particular was Alan Crabb, and he seemed very excited about the prospect of playing in Kenny Atkinson's system. That's something that's garnering a lot of attention because, as we know, he likes to spread the floor. He likes to get open three-pointers, and Alan Crabb is one of the best three-point shooters in the league. You know, any way you look at it, he's overpaid, whatever people want to say, but you're getting someone who can knock down 40% of his three-point shots, and you have other guys on this team who could really knock down jumpers. So if they really execute the style of play that they wanted to execute last year, but they had difficulties with the injury to Jeremy Lin and things of that nature, now you can implement that, and if you stay relatively healthy, like Pooch said, you could probably be looking at 35, maybe even 40 wins, maybe even the 8th seed.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy in the East, as a lot of these players seem confident. Isaiah Whitehead spoke to me about he likes this group of guys. He likes the chemistry of the team. They hung out together in the summer. They went to Dykeman. They played together. They did things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this team bonds. Speaking of bonding, the team will be leaving today to head to Annapolis, Maryland, where they will start the beginning of their training camp. And it's an important time when the team can come together. Is there anything you guys are looking to see from this team as we start the preseason? Once we start games, what are you looking to see in the development of some of these players? Is it the integration of D'Angelo Russell into this team, how he maybe plays with Jeremy Lin in the backcourt? But what are some of the things you guys are looking at?
Well, I think for starters, like, we don't know what starting lineup is going to be, right? So we're kind of just eager to see, like, are they going to roll out Crabb out there at the 3 first? Are they going to go with Damari Carroll? Are they going to throw a curveball and go with Karis LeVert? You know, they're going to keep Rondae Hollis-Jefferson at the 4. And I think that's important to some degree, but I also think it's more important to see who actually plays and stays on the floor. You don't anticipate that a guy like Timofey Mozgov is going to log 40 minutes a night from the center position. So
we hope not.
Yeah, you got to see how it works as far as your depth, because I would say that this team is deep in comparison to last year going in. So what do you think?
I mean, you're talking about training camp. I look at the roster and I see 8 guards on this roster.
Right.
You think about a training camp that is going to be so competitive because there are so many guys fighting for a spot on this team. So that alone, I want to see exactly who excels in training camp, who shows that work from the offseason, and who maybe takes that step. You know, does Isaiah Whitehead, you know, Kenny Atkinson has mentioned him at the 1 position, the 2, and the 3. Does he kind of take that next step and expand his role? Or a Spencer Dinwiddie, how does he move up in the lineup? Does he move up in the lineup at all? And then you look at the big men. You know, they only have 2 guys that could really stretch the floor out of 6 big men, you know, bigs, and that's Damari Carroll and Quincy Acey. So, again, it's going to be about, like Bryan said, we don't know who's going to be starting, but that'll give a good idea into what approach they want to do and if they're going to make adjustments in the offensive system.
It's going to be interesting to see. We'll be having our eye on it here. Nets Daily Crew will all be watching, seeing how the team develops in the preseason, how things get going through the regular season. So we want you to stay tuned to netsdaily.com for the latest information on Nets news. You know we're the best place to come, right, guys? We got the best stories, best videos, everything when it comes to covering the Nets. As I said, we'll have our eye on that. For Anthony Puccio, Bryan Fonseca, I'm Dexter Henry signing off for netsdaily.com.